Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a bit of a different video. So I've moved, I live in a house. I don't know if I've addressed that in previous videos. It's a granny flat technically, but there's a garden, and in that garden there's all sorts of life. I don't like mowing the lawn because it takes away all the bugs that these guys, lizard, eat. And it also can run over lizards when mowing. I've had to euthanize a couple now, which is really kind of depressing. But I guess in the grand scheme of things, it's no different to a blackbird swooping down and taking a beak full of lizards away, which I've seen on numerous occasions now. It's another reason to let the garden overgrow. It makes it more difficult for the birds. So this guy is a delicate skink. Its name is Stumpy, because when I first mowed the lawn, which would have been, what's it now? It's mid-January, so it would have been probably early December. I think this guy was a victim and lost or shed his tail. And we keep seeing him hiding underneath the potted plants we've got out the back. Look at that face. And it's just nice to see a visitor that's always the same guy. Or same little fella. But look at that expression. It just says it all, doesn't it? What am I doing in here? Well, I found him before I started mowing today, so I thought I'll bring him inside, then at least we can guarantee that he is safe. Stumpy is now also a boy. But yeah, these are cool little guys. So these are, if they get out of, they're native to Australia, but they can get out of the country and are quite invasive when introduced to other countries. I know New Zealand, one of our Pacific partners, has this particular type of skink, the delicate skink, decimating their local populations of their skinks, probably when mainland Australia and New Zealand were joined. There was a skink and then it split off and adaptations happen over time. And eventually you end up with different species that can't breed with each other. And this little guy, they love to get in everything. They're adventurers. We have another one here, which is I think it's the pale flecked garden sun skink. This is the dark flecked garden sun skink. The pale flecked version doesn't seem to care what's happening. I'm pretty sure if a bird comes down the garden and starts pecking around, it'll happily get eaten. These guys will make a dash. And honestly, the other type is my favorite. I think they're nicer looking, but Stumpy is starting to grow on me. And you see more of them when you're gardening, I guess. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of babies. So they do produce. I've only seen, so for these guys, I must have seen dozens of newly hatched ones over the past few months. And you might think, if I've only seen one, that's not many. I do wonder though if they sort of hide away a lot better. Like I said, these guys are pretty adventurous and they do live together. They don't mind each other's company. The pale flecked and dark flecked skinks. They've always got this dramatic look about them. But his stump's growing back quite well. Like, it's been a few weeks now, but that's a good amount of stump. I'm terribly sorry if it was us who did it. Must protect Stumpy at all costs. But I'll go pop them back in the garden now that I've finished destroying everything. There are now no flowers, just a whole bunch of bees wondering where the flowers went. I even saw a carpenter bee, I think. Was it a carpenter bee? I'll have to look that one up. It was a very big, it might have just been a bumblebee. Carpenter bee? Are they bumblebees? Bumblebee sized? Anyway, I'll have a look. So there you go, that's Stumpy. He's pleased to meet you, and he's probably pleased not to get run over by the mower. Sadly, the worst incident I've had with the lizard so far, well, two incidents. One was with moving the green bin, which carries our grass clippings and whatnot, and it ran over the lizard's sort of back leg, and it was bleeding pretty bad, so I had to put it out pretty quick, which was sad. And there was a baby one with a similar fate, where the intestinal wall had just... The good news is that I suppose you put the lizard in the right spot, the ants find it very quickly. Where are we going? Dare I open it now? There he is. They're pretty fast movers though, so I'll probably end up with a loose lizard in my room. Oops. Volume warning, I guess. Yeah, little buddy. But as you can see, the patterning is quite dark. The main way you can tell the difference is that cream stripe running along the very edge of the lizard top is much more pronounced in the other species. And there are two stripes, one on the top, one on the bottom. And this one, can't really tell, it just sort of two-tone skink. Come on, little buddy. Oh, shite. No. It's a miracle I caught you the first time. You know what? I'm just going to let you outside. You'll be fine. So thank you for watching. I love letting the garden grow. I do not like cutting down everything in the garden. I also think if you decide to put white pebbles up the sides of your house you're about to rent out, maybe use a really strong weed mat or just concrete over it, because let's be honest, it takes up a lot of my time weeding that, and the lizards live in there and then get crushed when I walk amongst the pebbles. It's a bit depressing, but I love these little guys. McRetro signing out. Don't forget to check the other channel, Super Nature World, where I put all my video clips of lovely nature. I should have called it Lovely Nature World. What was I thinking? McRetro out.